Okay, we're going to talk about how to write a good, brief movie review. And we're going to look at a movie review, a brief one, to see what makes it good and what makes it effective. I want to start with this movie called Now is Good. It's from 2012. I haven't seen it myself, so I don't know if this is an accurate movie review, but this is what we're going to use. And this will shape my perception, how I view this movie, whether I'll go see this movie. That's part of the reason it's very important. Let's look at the first paragraph. The first paragraph of this movie review says, "We all know death is the only certain thing that will happen to us, but the thought of living every day as if it were our last is probably taken seriously only by those with an expiration date on their backs." Let's write this down. What is this doing? In this movie review, they use something universal. How do they do that? They say something like, "We all know," and then whatever it is. In this case, we all know death is the only certain thing. See how that works? They say, "We all know." They decide that something that will be powerful to write is something that everyone can relate to, that everyone can understand. So they start their first paragraph, and many movie reviews will do this, with something universal that everyone can understand and relate to. We all know death is the only certain thing that will happen to us. Has nothing to do with the movie yet. This sentence could be by itself. It's simply something that everyone can relate to. It will have something to do with the movie later, but this sentence could simply stand alone. We all know death is the only certain thing that will happen to us. We do not start the movie by saying, "This actress is good and that actor is good and they started a family." No, we start with something universal. This is a good possibility. And you notice some of the language they use. They talk about a human being as having an expiration date on their backs. This is a little bit witty. Usually you might think of food as something with an expiration date. This brings in an element of wit. Try to be witty. Try to use a comparison that might seem funny to use. Might seem a little weird. Part of what we want to do in a brief movie review is have people be engaged. So we want to be witty. Use interesting / funny / funny language. Whoops. I'm gonna just do this so you can see that. Okay, moving on. Let's read the next part. Now is Good is a compelling drama that raises those questions about how you would plan your remaining days when all you can do is wait for the final curtain. Dakota Fanning is an amazing young actress who can light up the room and yet bring tears to your eyes on a story that moves and inspires. It is many times depressing, but also full of life, where the main characters depict so well how everyone around the patient suffers from different angles, ironically making the terminally ill seem stronger than everybody else. What did they do here? Once again, they use the word "you" here. How you would plan your remaining days. They appeal to the reader. This is very important. It makes the reader interested. And then what did they do? Did they give you specific details about the movie? Did they tell you where the movie was set? How old the people in the movie are? The relationships? No. They just give you very general information. What can we tell that this movie is about? Well, we know it has Dakota Fanning. She's probably pretty famous because they mention her. They don't talk a lot about her. They just say she's a great actress. Then they tell us that this story is about a terminally ill patient and that it's an amazing story. That's all they do. They don't tell you everything about the story, just general stuff about the story. But they tell you in a way which is interesting. And it's short. It's concise. It's to the point. That's an important thing about a brief movie review. So the next thing, let's just say, in general, we are quite general. Don't be too specific. Don't try to tell the whole story. That's not the point. In the end, what do they give you? They say, beautiful. This person liked this movie. In the final sentence or two, I want to give you advice about whether they think you should see this movie. This is a positive movie review. This person liked this movie. So they say, beautiful. It was a beautiful movie. It was good. You can do this in your movie review. Then they give it 3 stars. So it's a pretty good movie. So the final thing, tell reader whether or not they should see this movie. That's about it, guys. If you do those things, you got the start of a great brief movie review. Okay, thanks a lot.